He can't cast a single spell. Every teacher at his school thinks he doesn't belong there. And by the end of Season 2, he's standing toe-to-toe with the most powerful mages in the world, holding nothing but a sword. And this is Wistoria, Wand and Sword. And if you haven't watched it yet, stick around, because I'm breaking down both seasons, the characters, the fights, and whether it's actually worth your time. The setting is Rigarden Magical Academy, a school built entirely around magical talent. In this world, magic is everything: status, respect, survival. And that's a problem for our main character, Will Serfort, because Will can't use magic at all. Instead, Will fights with a sword, in a school where swordsmanship is treated as a joke. He gets mocked by classmates, dismissed by professors, and openly told by his teacher, Edward, that people without magical ability don't belong at Rigarden. But Will has a reason to stay. He made a promise to someone important to him, Elfaria, and he's not backing down, no matter how many times the system tells him he doesn't measure up. Before we get into the story, it's worth knowing who's around him. Elfaria Alvis Serfort is one of the most powerful mages alive, and she's the whole reason Will is fighting to stand beside her in the first place. Then there's Colette Loire, one of the few students who actually backs Will from day one, even when it costs her socially. Cyan Ulster starts off on the wrong foot. He takes credit for one of Will's early wins and spends a good chunk of the story dealing with that guilt. Julius Reinberg is one of the Academy's strongest candidates, and he ends up being a recurring measuring stick for how far Will still has to climb. And then there's Edward, Will's professor, who's basically the face of the magic is everything mindset the whole show is back against. With that out of the way, let's get into how the story actually plays out. Season 1 is really the prove yourself arc. Will spends most of it fighting to even be taken seriously, sneaking into dungeons, taking on monsters with his sword, while everyone assumes he'll fail. It builds to a graduation exam arc where Will and his classmates get thrown into a real dungeon, and things escalate fast. They end up facing a Grand Duke-class monster that's way above what students should be handling. Will actually lands the finishing blow using a sword empowered by fire magic, which is a big deal because it's proof that his style of fighting can go toe-to-toe with actual mages. Right after a wave of monsters shows up and things look dire until Aaron, the strongest of the wands in this world, steps in and cleans house. Season 1 ends with Will having earned real respect from his peers, even if guys like Edward are nowhere close to letting go of their bias. Season 2 picks up almost immediately, and it does not let Will enjoy his win for long. In the Season 2 premiere, Edward hits Will with a graduation question that's basically unanswerable for someone without magic. What is the meaning of magic? And it's enough to disqualify him on the spot. It's a rough way to open the season, but it sets up Will's comeback arc for the rest of it. From there, the season moves through the graduation finals arc and into the blooming festival arc, with Will slowly climbing back toward the respect he'd already earned, while the show starts digging into bigger politics around the Magyavander and the tower system that ranks the world's strongest mages. The back half leans harder into that political side, along with some big personal fights, including a standout clash between Elfaria and a mage named Zeo that ends up being one of the season's best action set pieces. So here's the actual review part. The animation in this show is genuinely elite. The fight choreography, The spell effects. The way it frames Will's sword strikes against full-blown magic. Visually, it's one of the strongest looking shows in its lineup. The story is where opinions split. Season 1 is tight and satisfying, a clear underdog arc with a clean payoff. Season 2 is more of a mixed bag. It spends a lot of time on side characters and slower political setup, and some viewers feel it drags compared to Season 1's momentum. If you're a fan of Magic Academy shows, think that Harry Potter school structure, but Shonen battle style, this scratches that itch hard. If you need every episode to move the plot forward fast, Season 2 might test your patience a little. A third season is already confirmed, so this story isn't done. And given where Season 2 left the Magia storyline, there's a lot still on the table. If you want the chapter-by-chapter breakdown of where the manga goes next, let me know in the comments. And if this video helped you catch up, drop a like and subscribe for more anime deep dives.